Good day, everyone. My name is Alan, and I'm here to speak about risk management in telecommunication tower site in Victoria, which help ensure compliance, safety, and operational continuity. A piece of relevant information: telecom tower sites serve as connectivity hubs, which are vital for mobile, internet, and emergency services, hence why it is crucial to ensure the safety, compliance, and service reliability. Today, we will focus on the risk and management in regional and metropolitan Victoria. What are the key risk categories in telecom tower site? First, we have health and safety, which includes falls from heights, RF exposure, electrocution, and lone worker. Next is environmental risk, which is the most crucial when working in the remote areas. It includes bushfire zones, occurrence of storms, and flooding, and vegetation encroachment. Third is operational and assets, which includes factors that can be managed although challenging to control, such as equipment failure, vandalism, and access breach. Victoria has legislative frameworks and regulatory bodies to ensure guidelines are followed as set in OHS Act 2004, ACMA or ACMA, and environmental permits. We have control measure in place to ensure optimum health and safety risk management on site. For working at heights, harnesses, certified ladders, anchor points, and mandatory trainings are imposed to minimize or prevent incidents. Proper signage, exclusion zones, and personal RF monitors are mandatory to minimize the possibility of exposure while working near or at an active tower site. For lone worker, organizations have set timeframes for when personnel working on their own regularly communicates with the office to check in. Lone workers also make use of duress alarms and safety apps, which are beneficial in case of any emergencies. Environmental risk management is quite challenging and require critical planning and execution to prevent any disruption to services in the occurrence of the unpredictable. Towers that are in bushfire high-risk areas require asset protection zones, vegetation plans, and the use of fire-resilient materials for maximum preparedness of the structure. This involves scheduled visit to the tower site to address any scrub, plant vegetation concern, etc. Storm and wind damage are also beyond human control. However, it can be managed accordingly. Preventative maintenance is recommended to minimize the damage of high winds and storms. Adhering to updated engineering standards and regular structural inspections are also recommended to address issues that are likely to occur early enough to minimize damage to the assets. Preventative maintenance, security control, and incident response are crucial to operational risk and asset protection. There is a multitude of options available for every organization, from regular inspection and assessment of tower, use of technology such as CCTV and remote monitoring, as well as up-to-date emergency protocol and fault escalation. Here are the three main legal and regulatory compliance in Victoria. First is WorkSafe Victoria that act as the regulator and dictate risk assessment, SWIMS, and contractor safety. ACMA or ACMA tackles RF compliance and EMB standards. Lastly, we have environmental permits system in place, which requires acquisition of permits or approval from local council prior to commence of any works in areas of concerns. Risk assessment process involves three important steps in risk management. Prior to commencement of any work, a site-specific assessment is conducted to identify any risk. It is also involved reassessment while working is ongoing. Site supervisor hold toolbox meeting at the start of the day, every work day, to identify and address risks on site. Pre-construction meetings are held by another stakeholders to ensure compliance with permits and required training. Risk matrix is the next step, which involves identification, assessment, control, and monitoring of risks. This is done on site and it's escalated as required. Continuous improvement involves lesson learned from previous incident or review of near misses. These are also discussed in toolbox meetings to prevent recurrence. Next, we have the use of technology in risk management. Here, we have the use of drones for tower inspection. This eradicates the risk of falling from heights and at the same time provides a detailed aerial view of the tower. For better assessment of damage, Internet of Things sensor monitoring is another option, which provides real-time data on tower performance, environmental condition like wind and ice. Advanced software is another beneficial option, which provides centralized asset management, and automated compliance tracking. Integrating environmental risks plays a vital role in risk management. The infrastructure are designed to withstand extreme weather events, which falls under climate resilience. This is achieved in such a way that ecological impact is considered to minimize the environmental footprint during construction as well as operation. Every organization is required to comply with all regulation encompassing environmental protections. Continuous reviews and engagements is exercised in managing risk through three vital factors. Staff engagements plays an important part, whereby an organization promotes and fosters a safe environment. Policies and procedures are updated every time that incidents arise. Site-specific assessments are also conducted to address any concern or if risks are identified. Lastly, is lesson learned. This is the application of insight from incidents that arise in the past to help improve the current situation or for further development of process. Thank you all for your time, and I will be sending a copy of my presentation via email together with a feedback form survey. If you could kindly send back to me via email. Thank you.